to have a little chat about the guy on this shirt.
So...
Manchester United have released a statement about Ronaldo, noting the media coverage regarding an interview with Cristiano Ronaldo, and that the club will consider its response after the full facts have been established. And they're focusing on the season, the players, the manager, the fans, all of that stuff. So where does this come from? Well, Cristiano has done a big bombshell interview with Piers Morgan, who also has sold the rights to that to The Sun as well, where he's basically throwing everybody under the bus. Now, the full interview is out on Wednesday and Thursday, but we already have a lot of quotes. And so we're going to have a little chat about what has been said, my thoughts on it, and then what I think may be revealed in the full interview. And if things massively change, we'll do a follow-up video as well. But to sum it up, Ronaldo seems like a petulant child that can't accept that he isn't as good as he was, and that he isn't the star man that everything is focused around, and he can't understand what's going on at Man United. So one of the big quotes is this one. Man United tried to force me out. Not only the manager, but also the other guys who are around the club, I felt betrayed. Interesting use of that word. I feel that some people didn't want me at Manchester United, not only this year, but last season too. I think the biggest word that I take from all of Ronaldo's stuff that he's come out with is hypocrite. And the reason why is because of other interviews he's had where he's stated things that line up completely differently to what's going on now, apparently. This is the same guy that handed in a transfer request and openly stated how much he wanted to leave and play in the Champions League because that's where he feels he belongs, and he wants to keep getting more goals to get away from Messi, who may catch up with his record. He tried to force himself out of the club. His agent was going to basically every Champions League club in the world to try and get somebody to sign him. So I don't really understand what's going on here. Because if you want to leave and they want you to leave, where's the problem here? And then he said that some people didn't want him at Man United. Now that's always going to be the case. Not every single person on a board is always going to want every single signing that comes in. It's hardly ever unanimous. Maybe someone like Haaland would have been in terms of recent big signings. But I can guarantee you, when Aubameyang went to Chelsea, there's no way that everybody at that club wanted to sign Aubameyang. But it still happened. That's football. He then goes on to say, I don't have respect for Erik ten Hag because he doesn't show respect for me. If you don't have respect for me, I will never have any for you. Now, I sort of understand that thinking. However, it goes both ways. So, if you're not showing respect for Ten Hag, then he's also not going to show respect back to you using your logic. So you can't have it both ways. You can't demand respect, but then not give any. And you can't come across as if you are the one that should be getting all of that respect when you're not being the bigger person in potentially a scenario and giving them respect and just sort of feigning it even. There's no logic there. It's like he doesn't understand that Ten Hag's football looks better without Ronaldo in the team. They just seem to have a lot more fluidity and play better when he isn't playing. And he doesn't seem to be able to accept that fact, that a team is doing well without him, therefore he's not being played all the time. And when it comes to respect, you handed in a transfer request and spoke to all of these different clubs. You weren't even initially going to go back to Man United. You've refused to come on as a sub, left games before full time. You basically never go over and clap any away fans, even if they've made a massively long trip to see you play. Where's the respect there? It's little things like that that mean that this kind of statement doesn't make any sense to me, and it's hypocritical. If people are paying good money to come and see you play football, and you can't even spend 30 seconds at the end of a game to walk over and show your respect, that's poor. Again, leaving games early, not coming on as a sub, no. You can't have it both ways, Ronaldo. To go back to some of the other incidents, the one where he smashed that kid's phone out of his hand, was it losing to Everton or something like that? Something seems to have just completely flicked a switch and he's just going off the rails, basically. since his return to Man U. He then said on Ragnick, if you're not even a coach, how are you going to be the boss of Man United? I'd never even heard of him. Completely disrespectful and completely unnecessary. The plan with Ragnick was always basically to have him on like that interim basis and then bring in someone like Ten Hag afterwards to get the club in a better place for when that next big manager does come in. It's like signing a new player that comes out of nowhere and is really good, but you haven't heard of them. Therefore, who cares about them? That's not how it works. When you were signed by United initially from Sporting, most people didn't know anything about you, but they gave you a chance. How are you not seeing that? I don't like any of this at all. Then this is an odd one. Nothing has changed here since Sir Alex left. When I decided to return to Manchester United, I followed my heart. Sir Alex Ferguson said to me, it's impossible for you to come to Manchester City, and I said, okay, boss. So confirming the fact that he could have gone to City, but followed his heart, even though he only did that after phone calls with Sir Alex and others. It's an interesting one, that's for sure. Maybe more will come out about this in the full interview. Then we've got this, quoting Picasso, saying you've got to destroy it to rebuild it, and if they start with me, for me, it's not a problem. Which I don't really understand that, to be honest. The bottom part, I do agree with. A club of this size should be at the top, but this is not the case. There is no excuses. I'll give you that one. Man U should be better than they currently are. But then he says, I love Man United. I love the fans. They're always on my side. Really? Have you been paying attention lately? Because that certainly is not the case. Again, the phone incident, the poor performances, the lack of goals, the disrespect to leave early and not be subbed on and all of that stuff. They aren't on your side like they once were. And then he says, but if Manchester United wants to do it different, they have to change many, many things. Here the progress has been zero since Sir Alex Ferguson left the club. Continuing, nothing changed since I left. The pool, the jacuzzi, even the gym, even some technology, even the chefs who I appreciate, lovely people. I thought I would see new technology, infrastructure. I saw things I saw when I was 20. Now, okay, but then why did you sign? If you do your due diligence as a player, then you look at these kind of things when you sign for a club, right? That's just basic. Especially when you have the pull of someone like Ronaldo, you can demand to see everything within the club before you sign. So why did you not look around, see all of these things and everything, and get all this information, and then say, no, this isn't good enough. I'm not going to join you. These things just don't add up to me. This is what I don't understand here. I don't get why you would moan about stuff that you had the chance to see and then not join. And then we have some of the other comments of throwing people under the bus, like, I don't know why Rooney criticises me so badly, probably because he finished his career and I'm still playing at high level. I'm not going to say that I'm looking better than him, which is true. This comes across as so petty and childish. As I said earlier, it feels like Ronaldo is the last person in the world to see that he isn't what he once was. He cannot handle criticism in any form. You've seen it with the snubs to like Carragher, Neville and stuff like that lately. People that are now actually saying that they think Man U would potentially be better without him, he's suddenly just disregarding them. Because he can never be wrong, is what it seems like. And to be as childish to say, oh, I'm not going to say this about someone, that is such a pathetic way of going about saying something. You can literally move the words, I'm not going to say that, and the sentence is still meaning exactly the same thing. It's all pathetic, it's all childish. He's ruining his legacy at Man United, and any club that was potentially going to look to come in for him in January, maybe having second thoughts. Because they don't want this kind of ego and attitude. And I mean, the summary of all of this, he's never playing for United again, is he? There's no way. He can't after the stuff that he said. But in order to go to a Champions League team, he's going to have to severely cut down his wages. Which is another interesting point. It's funny how you say all of this stuff about how the club's terrible and everything like that. But you're still happy to sit there and take your hundreds of thousands every week. Rather than if you were that desperate to leave this toxic environment. I can guarantee you that Cristiano Ronaldo has the ability to have his contract terminated and move somewhere else. But the problem is, who wants this unfortunate man-child right now. He's clearly had a drop-off in ability. He doesn't suit Ten Hag's system. He's disrespecting the club, the manager, and the fans. He's done. So, what are your thoughts on all of this? As I said, I may do a follow-up if we get more info on Wednesday and Thursday on big stuff that needs talking about. And where do you think he goes? Because this man is not a Manchester United player anymore. Crazy, crazy interview, but I'm really interested to see what else comes out on it in the next few days. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.